No better time than the present to make a run in the UFC's welterweight division, and veteran contenders Martin Kampmann and Thiago Alves hope to begin on that quest here tonight in Sydney.
He's coming out with power, Mike. He's there to send a message to Poppy. Thiago looking to finish this fight right here. He's 10 minutes on!
He's a tough dude. I respect him, you know. I love watching Thiago fight. He's an explosive striker, and he's knocked out some of the best, you know. When I got the offer, I thought, yeah, I'll fight him. You know, he's got a great name.
Kampmann is top of the food chain, you know. He's a really, really tough guy. That's what you get, you know, at the top of the weight class, and that's what I want.
That's it! Guillotine is in big trouble. He's 10 minutes all over!
Tonight, I'm gonna unleash the pit bull. I'm gonna do what I do best, which is punish my opponent. And tonight, I'm punishing Martin Kampmann.
Yeah, he's gonna try to take my head off. That's good. Make him come in. I'll take your head off. I want to make it a fight.
It's gonna be a war, you know. It could be a stand-up war or just a mix of, you know, takedowns and ground and pound.
There are a lot of people scared of strike with him. I'm not scared to strike with him. I'm here to get the stoppage. I'm gonna put as much punishment on him as I have to make the referee stop the fight.
Big quick hand. Martin, the Hitman Kampmann. Outstanding performance.
We're gonna square off. I'm gonna break Mark Kampmann, and then after that, I'm gonna finish him.
Thiago Alves continues to rise.
So here is the Extreme Couture product, Martin Kampmann, making his 14th UFC appearance here in Sydney, Australia. And Kenny, this is a guy who really could be riding a 5-fight winning streak if he wasn't on the wrong end of a couple decisions.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You look at the guys that he's faced, I mean, one killer after another in this welterweight division, and I don't think there's a lot of welterweights who want to fight Martin Kampmann. Thiago Alves happens to be one of them, and it's an interesting contrast to styles. Because Kampmann is such a counter striker, Alves is a guy who likes to stalk and go forward, so Kampmann's a guy who can catch anyone. He's very precise. He catches you as you're coming forward, as you're feeling comfortable, and from there it's lights out. And then if he gets you on the ground, he's very dangerous with his submissions.
Right, known as a striker, but 1/3 of his career wins have come by submission. He has never been submitted in 23 pro fights. 18-5 is the record for Martin Kampmann, former Danish Thai boxing champion. Nice mix, as you see there, of knockouts and submissions. And now 2 fights removed from that absolute war against Diego Sanchez, the fight of the night almost a year ago today, in which he stopped 14 of 15 takedown attempts, outlanded Sanchez 79-51, a tremendous fight. And he's hoping for a similar performance here tonight against Thiago Pitbull Alves.
Yeah, that's one of those fights I really thought he won, and that's another thing that's just improved so much since he's been at 170 is his wrestling skills, both offensively and defensively. He's just been looking very, very sharp.
And our UFC matchmaker, Joe Silva, has said it's kind of rare, but both guys love this matchup. Isn't always the case. Making his way to the octagon, the former #1 welterweight contender, Thiago Alves, making his 17th UFC appearance.
Much like Martin Kampmann, he's one of these guys who's so nice outside of the cage, and when he's inside that octagon, he is nasty. Loves to go forward, heavy leg kicks. Can also knock you out with his hands and knees, so very dangerous guy, a guy who now is very comfortable at 170 pounds. He used to be a big-time cut for him, but since working with Mike Dolce, it's been a huge help for his career. Making that weight, you don't want that to be your first fight, and he's been able to make 170 now very comfortably for his last few fights.
Thiago Alves has landed 164 leg kicks in his UFC career. That is second all-time only to Forrest Griffin in UFC history, and a knockout victory here tonight would give him 7 in the UFC. That would be most all-time amongst UFC welterweights. And Alves also, we point out, coming off a submission win over Papi Abedi at UFC 138. And for the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, just the second career submission win, and first one not due to strikes. And we know Thiago enjoyed that very much.
Yeah, definitely nice submission win, but in the end it was probably set up with his striking, but you know, hey, a submission win is a submission win, and that was a very dangerous striker, and the fact that he was able to hurt him on the feet was very impressive.
Tail of the tape for the main event. Both guys in their late 20s. You see the 3-inch height advantage in the corner of Martin the Hitman Kampmann. He also will have a 2-inch reach advantage over Thiago Alves. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Sanctioned by the Combat Sports Authority of New South Wales, with Chairman Dennis Fitzgerald. Our 3 judges scoring this contest at octagon side are Sal Diamato, Khan Papayanan, and Chris Watts. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon, Herb Dean. And now, from the Allphones Arena, down under in Sydney, Australia, it's time! 3 rounds in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, holding a professional record, 18 wins, 5 losses. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 170.5 pounds, 77.3 kilos. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, Martin the Hitman Kampmann. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, holding a professional record, 24 wins, 7 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 170.5 pounds, 77.3 kilos. Fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, USA, Thiago Pitbull Alves.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. Can have a clean fight. Touch gloves, make it official.
Here we go, Thiago Alves and Martin Kampmann. 3 rounds, if necessary, in the UFC's welterweight division.
Ready to fight? Ready.
Will it be the stalking, aggressive style of Thiago Alves? Or will it be the counter-striking of Martin Kampmann that gets it done on the feet? That's what made this fight so interesting. And there we see the heavy leg kick of Thiago Alves.
Get out of there!
And that is certainly going to take away that footwork of Martin Kampmann.
And when you think leg kick in mixed martial arts, the first name to come to mind for most people is certainly Pitbull.
Yeah, not many people throw it cleaner and heavier than Thiago Alves. Martin Kampmann now going to his wrestling, something that is very underrated in his game. Randy Couture talks about how good his wrestling is, especially for a guy who does not come from a wrestling background. He has been very impressed with his wrestling over the years. And there it is. Able to put Alves on his knees there for a brief period, and now goes back to his striking. Very nice escape from Thiago Alves, was able to get wrist control and break out of it.
Nice right hand there for Kampmann, who we remind you.
Oh! Thiago Alves is hurt! That front teep has hurt him. Kampmann now going to the body. I don't know if he realizes how hurt Alves is and gets an easy takedown up against the cage. That front kick caught him right on the jaw. Alves now trying to shake off the cobwebs.
And a huge knee there for Kampmann as Alves gets up. So some early moments here in Sydney for the Hitman.
Alves looks like he's back into it, but wow, what a shot by Kampmann that came out of nowhere.
And Thiago Alves already cut on the left side of that eye.
We saw what that kick did to Vitor Belfort from Anderson Silva, and Kampmann utilized the same technique to surprise Alves.
And you see how physically strong Thiago Alves is, but Martin Kampmann, let's not forget, a former middleweight.
Yeah, he is a big welterweight himself, doing some good work in the clinch so far. Not quite able to control Alves just yet, but he is hitting some takedowns. Showing a nice mix to his mixed martial arts game here. And now Alves with a beautiful takedown on Kampmann.
So we'll see what Alves can now do in the dominant position.
Nice way to mix it up. Utilize some wrestling now to try to keep Kampmann from getting too confident there on his feet. Alves goes for a takedown. And Kampmann now trying to sit up, trying to work for a guillotine, trying to work for a shoulder lock. And Alves now finds himself in side control. Very nice guard pass from Thiago Alves as he looks to advance his position, possibly into mount, but now Kampmann doing a good job of getting back to a half guard position.
So a minute and a half to go here in the first round. It was Kampmann early, it's been Thiago Alves since.
Thiago Alves doing a good job of keeping Kampmann on his back, but now giving up that underhook, and Kampmann now in a very good position to get back to his feet. But Alves climbs right into the mount position now. Kampmann's in some trouble here. This is not a good position for him. Look for Alves to stand up once he feels comfortable here and start raining down blows from this mount position.
And until then, Alves content to keep all of that weight on Martin Kampmann.
Nice control from Thiago Alves here in the mount position. We've seen some nice exchanges here on the ground. So far, it's Thiago Alves in control now in this mount position. He's locked his legs here, wants to make sure he keeps this position, and this is very draining for the guy on bottom who's trying to escape. It can be very draining for him. Not to mention, Alves is free to land some short shots here that is slowly going to chip away at Martin Kampmann.
Kampmann trying to buck Thiago Alves off, but Alves not having it.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of removing those hands off of his hips, and that's what's stopping Kampmann from escaping.
All right, second round of our main event between Alves and Kampmann is yours when we return to Sydney.
Here's that front kick from Martin Kampmann that comes up very similar to an uppercut. Doesn't push out like a traditional front kick, but it came right from the ground, straight up, and surprised Thiago Alves, landing the biggest shot of the fight so far.
Alves responded, though, quite well. You see on the replay there, gained his composure back very quickly.
Definitely was able to take control and bring the fight to the mat. Did a great job of controlling Kampmann up into the last seconds of that first round. The corner of Thiago Alves imploring him to use more leg kicks. They want him to get in on that lead leg of Martin Kampmann to slow him down. And Ray Cepho in the corner of Martin Kampmann told him he wants him to throw that 1-2 and look for that front kick to the chin of Thiago Alves once again. Thiago Alves has a tendency of kind of ducking down a little bit, so the techniques to utilize against him would be an uppercut or that front kick.
We show you the total strikes, and the story is Thiago Alves, at least to this point, 42-23, the advantage for the Brazilian.
He is a busier striker. This is his MO. Kampmann, more of a counter striker. It's been effective as well. Thiago Alves needs to go back to getting that jab going and that leg kick going as he lands a nice 1-2-1 combination there on Martin Kampmann. And beautiful left hook. Shows a little bit of counter striking of his own as Kampmann tried to go forward.
And Kampmann, traditionally a high output guy, having trouble finding his range here midway through the second round.
Yeah, Alves is showing some very good footwork, moving side to side, never really going straight back, something that it's been a problem for him in the past, especially against other wrestlers. Alves doing a good job of circling away from that pressure.
So we hit the 3-minute mark here in the second round of our main event. Thiago Alves, Martin Kampmann.
Nice combination from Thiago Alves.
Yeah, so the bigger shots, at least here in round two, have come from Thiago Alves, who lands another combination.
Yeah, very nice combination. We knew that, you know, both are very precise strikers, but it is Alves who usually hits a little bit heavier. We've seen him knock out a lot of opponents in the past. That's where Kampmann definitely needs to be careful here as he's looking for that high crotch, looking for maybe a switch to the double, but he bails. And nice little limp leg escape from Thiago Alves. Thiago Alves' hands are looking very sharp, landing some very nice shots in tight. And you can see it on the face of Kampmann. He's bleeding on the nose, got some swelling on the eyes.
And there's that thwack once again for Thiago Alves. Kampmann can certainly take some punishment.
You know, Alves sets up those leg kicks. Everyone talks about just the leg kicks as an individual technique, but he's setting it up very well with his hands. Throws a beautiful jab, hook into that leg kick, and it's devastating when it lands. Especially if this fight goes into that third round. It's going to take away a lot of the mobility of Martin Kampmann as Thiago Alves lands a huge right hand.
And now Kampmann is severely busted up, and Thiago Alves landing from the outside with the left again.
Yeah, nice left hook. This is some very sharp boxing from Thiago Alves. Those shots on the inside have been devastating, and Kampmann needs to be careful with these cuts because that's when that blood can start to go into the eyes, and that will obviously really affect your striking game. Right now, it looks like it's staying away from his eyes at this point, but something the cut man in his corner is going to have to monitor.
And it's just Alves quicker to the punch, Kenny.
Yeah, he's a little bit more fluid with his hands and combining that kicking game as well. He's going forward with success, and there's that left hook again, John.
Nice little flurry there by Kampmann that he closes out with a knee, so both guys trading fire here, but Thiago Alves certainly with a powerful second round here, and the accuracy has certainly been there for Pitbull Alves.
You know what, Kampmann just hasn't been able to counter Alves as well. He has more success when he's going forward. He's going to have to continue to do that as we head into this third round.
All right, 10 minutes down, 5 to go. Thiago Alves and Martin Kampmann. You are watching UFC Fight Night.
Well, in this round, it was Thiago Alves that was able to get off on his striking, landing a big right hand. Very nice timing on that right cross. It definitely hurt Martin Kampmann.
And it almost seems as though as soon as Kampmann moves forward, Alves greets him with a strike in his mouth.
Yeah, you know what? But Martin Kampmann's going to have to continue to go forward. He just simply hasn't been able to counter Thiago Alves going forward, and he's going to have to come forward with combinations. You can hear Ray Cepho telling him he needs to go with more combinations, be more aggressive in this round.
John Anna, Kenny Florian, UFC Fight Night from Sydney, Australia. Great to have you with us. It is the third round of our main event. Martin Kampmann and Thiago Alves. And Kenny, in between rounds, the Kampmann corner was really encouraging the takedown.
Yeah, and here he is looking for that body lock takedown. Alves doing a very good job of countering that with that underhook. That's what's saving him, that left underhook. And Kampmann bails on that body lock. That's that strength of Thiago Alves.
Now Kampmann's starting to put something together with the arsenal.
This is what he needs to do, John. He needs to go forward. He needs to pressure Thiago Alves. He needs to get the respect with the striking. He needs to get the respect with his wrestling. And here he is, trying to take him down up against the cage. Alves making him pay with some short shots in there. But Kampmann's doing a good job of pressuring. Judges are aware of that, and Kampmann needs to stay busy like this.
Able to check that big right hand from Alves, albeit barely.
Alves almost went upstairs with that kick.
So with 3 minutes to go, we show you the total strikes, and it has been Thiago Alves by a count of 74-53. So after that early front kick from Martin Kampmann, Thiago Alves has been the better party at finding his range and making the strikes count.
Yeah, he's been very aggressive with his combinations. There's another one.
Yep.
Really beating up that lead leg of Martin Kampmann. Kampmann needs to have some more confidence there with the striking. He has some very crisp striking, but he's just a little bit hesitant, and of course Alves is very, very fast.
And he's mixing it up beautifully, and you're right, taking advantage of that speed. You don't know if the jab's coming or if it's going to be the lead right.
Showing some good diversity. Thiago Alves going downstairs with the leg kicks, going upstairs with his hooks, his crosses, his uppercuts, and so far he is really frustrating Martin Kampmann.
And staying off the cage and out of the clinch.
The big difference that I see in Thiago Alves is his footwork. He's moving around the cage very, very well. Not just going straight forward and straight back. He's showing some lateral movement. And Martin Kampmann has had trouble adjusting to that. And here he is with a body lock. He's not able to complete the takedown, but again, Martin Kampmann having to show some respect for Thiago Alves' wrestling game.
So just over a minute and a half to go here in our main event. Now the time of the fight where we always seem to talk about a sense of urgency. If the judges are going to be needed, now's the time.
Yeah, Martin Kampmann's best shot of the night was in that first round with that front kick to the jaw of Thiago Alves. He just hasn't been able to put together the combinations consistently enough. Thiago Alves back to stalking, and big shot with that right hand that hurt Kampmann. And he's trying to take him out here, John.
So Thiago Alves works it into a takedown, but Kampmann with a submission here.
Kampmann has a guillotine choke that's very tight on Thiago Alves. What a reversal from Martin Kampmann. He was losing this fight. And that is a huge comeback. So Thiago Alves in complete control.
What a comeback for the hitman, Martin Kampmann, on the wrong side of the striking exchange. Kampmann doesn't get enough credit for his submission game. And on a dime, the fight turns. Martin Kampmann, your winner by submission.
Unbelievable reversal I'm going nuts over here. Thiago Alves was in complete control in this third round. He had Kampmann hurt. You thought this was going to be the beginning of the end for Martin Kampmann, but instead it became a submission and a reversal and a submission for Martin Kampmann. A guillotine from the mount. Unbelievable finish for Martin Kampmann.
And had Thiago Alves not pursued the takedown 48 seconds or so, it appeared he might have been on his way to a decision victory. Instead, it is Martin Kampmann with a comeback they'll be talking about for quite some time. And what a way to close out our UFC Fight Night on FX here in Sydney, Australia. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Deans called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 12 seconds of round number 3. Declaring the winner by tap out due to submission from a guillotine choke, Martin the Hitman Kampmann.
All right, I'm here with your winner, Martin Kampmann. What a comeback. How about that submission? Did you feel like you needed a finish to get the W here?
What are you talking about? I was doing great. No, Thiago caught me with some good shots, I'll be honest. He was catching me. I wanted to strike with him, but I wanted to take him down as well, and he got really good takedown defense, man. He was really tough to take down. Usually when I get people on the fence, I can get him down, but he's got good defense, you know, so I felt I was definitely behind. I was trying too much. I was eating too many punches going into the clinch, you know, even though the plan was to fight from the outside and then box my way in. And I did a couple of times, but I wasn't getting the flow in as much as I wanted. I hit him with that kick in the first round, I think, but kind of dazed him a little bit, and I didn't capitalize enough on it. You know, he got me some good shots, man. I got all the respect for Thiago. He's a beast.
All right, well, talk us through the end of the fight. He goes for the takedown, and pretty soon thereafter, you locked in on the fight-ending submission.
Yeah, man, I knew usually when people go in there, I don't like going for the submission, you know, because like you saw in the first round, he ended up on top, and he was staying really heavy with his hips and keep me down. So I felt I really had to finish the fight, so it wouldn't do me any good just to keep me standing. So I thought I had a chance to go for the submission. I squeezed it because I knew that was my window, and I didn't want to miss it.
All right, we mentioned on the broadcast your second straight win could easily be your 6th. You've got some momentum. Who is next for Martin Kampmann in what is a crowded welterweight division?
You know, I'll fight anyone, but of course, you know, right now, Carlos Conor got a target on his back, you know, and I got to win over him. And since GSP's out, he's the one everybody's gunning for, and I'd love to get a chance to fight him one more time. I know he want to get a chance to revenge that loss he got against me, so, you know, let's go.
Well, congratulations on a tremendous comeback, Sydney. How about a hand, Martin the Hitman Kampmann?
Unbelievable performance from Martin Kampmann, who was losing this fight, and just like a guy with heavy hands who can turn the fight around in an instant, he was able to do it with his jiu-jitsu, and Martin Kampmann did exactly what he needed to do in that third round. Thiago Alves was in complete control. You could see he was landing that right hand at will. Here he rocks Martin Kampmann. He was now going in for the kill himself. Landed that right hand, and you could see Martin Kampmann was in big time trouble. Thiago Alves tried to bring him to the mat, and that only helped Martin Kampmann, who locked in that guillotine choke right into the mount position, and that thing was tight. I mean, there were only seconds left in that third round, and Alves had to tap out.